Welcome to the TFCWiki. My name is Kitty Chanley, and in this episode we will be covering anvils. The first anvil you'll make in TerraFirmaCraft will be made out of stone. You can't just use any stone though. You'll need either an igneous intrusive or igneous extrusive raw stone block. The igneous stone types are granite, diorite, gabbro, rhyolite, basalt, andesite, and dacite. Once you have your raw stone block, you'll take a hammer and right-click on the top. You'll see it's successful because a little divot will happen, and you'll need to keep right-clicking until you open up the interface. For a stone anvil, you'll need to store your hammer inside of the hammer slot. Otherwise, when you exit out, it just becomes a regular stone block again. There are 7 tiers of anvil in TerraFirmaCraft, with the stone anvil being tier 0 all the way up to blue and red steel at tier 6. Each anvil can weld double ingots of a tier of 1 higher than it currently is. So your stone anvil is going to be able to make copper double ingots, your copper anvil is going to be able to make bronze double ingots, and so on and so forth. If you want to do any other smithing in the anvil, such as making a tool or armor or a double sheet or anything like that, you'll need an anvil that is at least the same tier. So your copper anvil can make copper tools, your bronze anvil can make bronze tool and copper tools, and so on and so forth. So the first and only thing that you'll do with your stone anvil is make copper double ingots. You'll need at least 2 copper ingots that say can weld in the tooltip, and you'll place them in the 2 welding input slots. You also need a hammer in the hammer slot and some flux in the flux slot. Hit weld and you'll get your double ingot. Once you have a total of 7 copper double ingots, you can make your first copper anvil like so. Now anvils are very heavy, so you'll be overburdened while you carry it and can't walk. However, there is a special slot on your back, especially for these big items. So now I can freely walk around. Probably the most confusing part of the whole anvil mechanic is smithing. So I'm going to show you how to make a pickaxe. You'll need an ingot that at least says can work in the tooltip so that it's hot enough, and you'll place it on the input slot. From there, we have a plan selection button that'll tell you all the different things that you can make with that ingot. If no plans show up, it likely means that you're on an anvil of the wrong tier and you need a higher tier anvil to make what you want to make. So let's choose the pickaxe head. At the top, you'll see that we have 3 rules: punch last, bend not last, draw not last. So what that means is that the draw and the bend actions have to be our last 2, and the punch has to be our final one. So you can see now that we've got the green arrow that starts at the bottom, and the red arrow has now moved up. The green buttons are going to move the green arrow further to the right, with this one moving it a little bit more, and a whole lot. Now the red arrows move the green arrow to the left. So this one moves it a little to the left, a little more, and a lot. So what you need to do is you need to get this arrow all the way up, matching perfectly with this one, and you have to match these 3 rules at the same time. Okay, so now that we have a hot ingot, let's go. So a helpful tip is that your last 3 actions are going to show up down here, and it'll turn green around the border when it matches the rules. So I like to do shrink all the way over a little bit, and then we've got a draw, a bend, and a punch, and you can see it was off a little bit, but these actions match up, and so they turned green. Oh, and I actually did a hit as my last action, not a punch. See, now it's matched up perfectly, but I'm not matching the rules anymore. I don't have a draw as one of my last 3 actions. So you're going to need to figure out the combination that gets this matched up perfectly and matches your rules at the same time. This is going to be a little bit frustrating, especially since the items can cool down and will eventually get too cold to work. When that happens, just throw them back in the forge until they're hot enough and you can pick up right where you left off. And there we go, a red steel pickaxe head. Thanks for watching!